Sunday, the guys are in agreement for this game. Spoiler alert. We'll take a look at the betting for Liverpool versus Aston Villa, not on UK TV, has been moved to Sunday due to Villa's participation in the Europa Conference League. Liverpool 172, Aston Villa 4.8. The draw is available at 4.6. Another very short price on both teams to score. Yes, 155 here. The Asian handicap line sees Villa get a 3/4 goal head start at above evens, 2.04. And the goal line again for this game is 3.5, but it is a good bit shaded in favor of the under market. So yeah, Adrian, take it away, because Alex Ferguson's viral clip of saying he was impressed with Villa after week one, a lot of people were kind of slagging him off about that, but I'd say he's been vindicated a bit in the last two games, because they've been very, very impressive.
Yeah, very, very. Yeah, I don't think you'd have caught too many people praising Villa after that game. I mean, in midfield, that on the opening weekend, they were shocking, absolutely shocking. But they've sort of regathered and they've come back very strong. Obviously, they've swatted Everton to one side, but Burnley, I didn't expect them to be as good as they were against Burnley. They were swashbuckling at times. Some lovely football, some great goals. Watkins is looking sharp. Diaby looks a terrific signing. And I liked what Unai Emery did with the team. Obviously, no Tyrone Mings, but so he's gone with a back three. He's got 3 good centre-backs. Or let's just put them all in the team. You've got Cash and Digne, who can absolutely play as wing-backs. You've got 3 central midfielders, and then sort of Diaby in off Watkins. It was a really balanced lineup. And they've been particularly good so far this season on the break, haven't they? They've had 13 direct attacks, which is more than any other Premier League team. They've had 7 shots from fast breaks as well, which is also the most of any Premier League team. Now, when I think of Liverpool at Anfield piling on the pressure, where do they leave themselves exposed? They leave themselves exposed to fast breaks. We've seen it quite a lot, haven't we, over the last few years? So I do believe that Villa will carry a menace when they turn the ball over in this game. And Liverpool still don't have a lot of defensive players in their team, do they? I know that Endo's in there now, but yeah, there's still a very attack-minded outfit. I just think that Villa can make hay and slice through them and create good chances. So that's why I'm looking at actually Aston Villa +1 on the handicap. You look at this fixture, actually, it's interesting. Now, I follow Arsenal, as you know, and this if I backed Arsenal +1 at Anfield over the last 9 or 10 years, I'm losing a lot of money. Not so with Aston Villa, weirdly. This bet would either pay out or, we'd get our money back 8 times out of the last 9 meetings between Liverpool and Aston Villa at Anfield. So they have a track record of going there and being competitive. There's a lot of draws. There's a few narrow one goal defeats. There's also some victories in there for Villa. So yeah, I think that history also says that Villa don't mind this fixture. Of course, Van Dijk's out, suspended, so that's a big blow. And obviously it was Matip, wasn't it, that was playing last weekend. So they're a little bit down to the bare bones at centre-back. So all of this puts me off of Liverpool, who obviously were brilliant in the way that they turned things around at Newcastle. Jota and Nunez coming on to do the business. And if they're at it, Liverpool and Villa, switch off, of course Liverpool can win this game and they can win it well. But I can't quite trust Liverpool just yet. But yeah, so I'm going to go with Villa on the handicap.
Okay, Villa on the handicap plus 1.0, 1.79, and that is interesting stat on Villa's last 9 games. This bet would pay out or money back 8 times out of 9. Mark, over to you on this one. And Liverpool, look, again, they looked all over the place against Newcastle for that 30 minutes. But a result like that on the eye test, Nunez scoring the winner, no underlying data backing it up, only just what you can see. You'd sense that it was a big, big win for them, yet you're going against them in this fixture.
Yeah, for all the reasons Adrian's outlined. But first of all, team news, no Van Dijk through suspension, but Konate, who missed last week, there was a suggestion he wasn't that far off, but now there's massive transfer speculation linking him with a move to Saudi Arabia as well. So, Klopp suggested an extra week will do him good. But
they won't leave Liverpool alone, will they, Mark? Saudi Arabia.
No. Salah and Konate now in demand. So their heads could easily have been turned. We just don't know. So that is a concern. If you are missing Konate as well as Van Dijk, that's a hammer blow to that defence, which hasn't looked great at the best of times, really. I think you've got 2 fullbacks there who've probably lost the idea of how to actually defend. And Van Dijk hasn't been himself for quite some time anyhow. It's obviously, as Adrian says, quite treacherous sometimes to oppose Liverpool in any way or any market at Anfield, because their record there is extraordinary. If you exclude the COVID season, Liverpool have lost just one home Premier League game across the last 4 seasons when fans have attended, which is incredible, really. 1 defeat in 77, 83% win record, crazy numbers. But this time, no Van Dijk, a midfield that's clearly in transition. Fullbacks, as I say, who are looking vulnerable defensively. They look a bit fractured. I thought they were a little bit lucky at Newcastle. I think most people would agree. Very poor in the first half against Bournemouth here a fortnight ago as well. Obviously, second best in the second half against Chelsea on week 1 as well, when you thought Chelsea probably would have been the more vulnerable of the two. And if you look at the 3 games put together, only 5 clubs have allowed more big chances than Liverpool so far this season. So defensively, they are giving you opportunities. And I think Villa, who've had that magnificent reaction to what was a really tough start, not just the Newcastle loss, but injuries to Mings and Buendia as well. And as Adrian alluded to, the change in system at Burnley worked a treat, really, didn't it? Because it allows Konza to kind of cover across right back when Cash bombs forward, just allows them that bit more flexibility, I think, as well. And Cash, he scored 2 goals. We had 6 shots in that game. Digne as well had an assist and created 2 chances. Camara and Douglas Luiz look very strong as a central midfield pairing to kind of hold the base down. And as Adrian says, Diaby's been absolutely wonderful, made a superb start, which is great to see. So there aren't too many weaknesses. And you just know that Unai Emery loves setting his team up in these kind of situations as the underdog. And, it's worked pretty well so far. When Villa have been away from home and priced up at 3-1 or larger under Unai Emery, they've won 3 times, drawn once, and lost just twice. They drew 1-1 here in May. They lost by just a 1-goal margin at Man United. Man City, the only team to beat them by 2 goals or more at those kind of prices. So, yeah, I think that the 1.8, 1.79 on Villa +1 stands out. I do expect them to score. They've only failed to score twice in 28 under Emery. And then Liverpool require 3 goals to see this bet lose. And Villa have only lost by 2 goals or more 5 times under Emery in 28 games. They've only conceded multiple goals 5 times in 28 under Emery as well. That's just twice or more, let alone 3 or more. So I think Villa score, and if they do score, it brings this handicap right into play.
Okay, yeah. Aston Villa +1.0 on the Asian handicap gives you a bit of security there. If you want an interest bet on this one, 179